Hello everyone, I am Dr. Kiranmayi, Assistant Professor and Area Chair, Digital Transformation and Operations, School of Business, Aditya University. In the previous lecture, we have discussed what is mean and what are the applications of mean and how to interpret the value of mean and how to calculate mean in case of observations and in case of ungrouped distribution. All these things we have understood in the previous lecture. In this present lecture, we are going to understand how to compute mean in case of group distribution, and then moving forward to the applications of mean in real-time situations, and then median. These are the learning outcomes of this present lecture. And to compute mean in case of group distribution, we use assumed mean method. So, because it is called assumed mean method because after computing the mid values for each class interval, randomly we consider one value, any value among all these x values, randomly we can consider one value as a mean value which we are assuming. So, that is why it is called assumed mean method. So, and this is the formula which we use to calculate a mean using assumed mean method. So, let me explain you how to calculate mean in case of group distribution with this example. So, first we have to obtain the mid values for each class interval. So, let mid values, that is 0 plus 10 by 2, that is 5, 10 plus 20, that is 30 by 2, 15, next 25, 35 and 45. Now, we have to obtain deviations using the formula x minus a by height of the class interval 10. So, that is x value is 5. I am assuming here the assumed mean as 25 among all the x values, mid values, that is 5, 15, 25, 35, any value randomly you can select as the assumed mean. You may select 45, you may select 15 or 5, any value we can select as the assumed mean. So, from the assumed mean we have to obtain the deviation for each x value, that is 5 minus 25 by 10, that is equal to minus 20 by 10, that is equal to minus 2, and here it is 15 minus 25 by 10, and 15 minus 25 gives minus 10, that is minus 1. Next 25 minus 25 by 10, 0 by 10, 0, and 35 minus 25 by 10, it is again 10 by 10, 1 and 2. So, this is how first we have to calculate mid values for each class interval, and then we have to obtain deviation from the assumed mean, and then we have to find f into d values. So, these are the frequencies and these are the d values. So, for the first one, it is 12 into minus 2, that is minus 24. Next one is minus 1 into 28, that is minus 28. Next 0, next 25, and next 13 into 26. And now we have to find out summation of this column which gives summation FD, and we also should compute summation F, which is nothing but capital N value, and whereas the assumed mean A value is 25, and we have to substitute. So, the value of A is 25 and we will obtain summation FD from the last column, and we will have summation F value and we should substitute all these values in this formula. Then we will obtain the value of mean. So, this is how we have to calculate mean in case of grouped distribution. Yes. So, these are the several applications where we use the concept or the measure mean. Suppose, imagine, let us assume that there are few families which spends upon groceries in this way: $100, $150, $120 and $130 for 4 weeks. So, one may be interested. So, on an average, what is the daily spending of the family towards groceries per week? So, this is the data where the family spends for 4 weeks. So, one may be interested in knowing per week how much the family is spending. So, let me tell you how to calculate, that is 100 plus 150 plus 120 plus 130. So, total we are summating four values, therefore divided with 4, that is sum of observations by number of observations, and this is going to be $125. That is, this is the spending towards groceries per week. So, on an average in a week the family spends $125. So, this is how we can apply, we can use the measure mean in real time situations. And another example, for example, there is a play, basketball play, where the scores are this way. So, 20, 25, 18, 22, in where 4 games are held, and these are the scores in 4 games. Therefore, one may be interested what are the points per game on an average. So, that we can again obtain by using the formula sum of observations by number of observations divided with 4, because we are summing up 4 values should be divided with 4, then it will be 21.2. So, per each game the score is approximately 21 points. So, this is how we can use the concept of mean. And coming to median. So, first let me tell you what is median. So, median is called positional average. Median is called positional average. Why it is called positional average? Unlike mean, median value does not depends upon the magnitude of the item. It depends, we calculate the value of median based upon its position in the data set. So, for example, if we consider this example to calculate median, so here we have 7 observations. So, the middle value is 28. So, based upon the position we are calculating the median value. That is why it is called positional average. And when this median is used in data analysis, so when the characteristics of item is in such a way that which cannot be measured, but whose nature is or where the data can be rankable, that in such incidents we can use the measure median. And not only that, median, another important thing we can understand that median divides the entire area under the graph into 2 equal parts, and this is what we call median. Therefore, so to calculate median, we also prefer, sometimes the data analyst may prefer median rather than computing mean. When the data consists of more outliers, or when the extreme values affects the mean value. Suppose, for example, income of the employees. There may be few employees who are earning highest salary among all the employees, and that highest salary may affect the value of the average. In such a case, average will not turn out to be a good measure. So, when average is not a good measure, when it gets affected by extreme values, or when the data consists of more outliers, and also when the distribution in such a way that which is open distribution, that is where the class intervals are not exactly determined. That is, for example, the intervals may be in such a way that greater than 10, between 10 to 20, and more than 50. Likewise, so in such a case, exactly more than 50 means any value which is more than 50 we can consider. So exactly the upper limit we cannot estimate. And in case of like greater than 10 also, where we cannot less than or greater than 10, we cannot exactly estimate the lower limit. So without such kind of lower or upper limits, it is not possible to calculate mean. So such kind of distribution we call it as open kind of distribution, class interval. So in such cases where there are more number of outliers, and when mean gets affected by extreme values, and when the distribution is open distribution, in all such cases we can make use of the measure median. And not only that, when the characteristics of the items is rankable rather than measuring, in all such kind of cases we calculate the measure median. And here also median we can compute in case of two kinds of distribution, in case of ungrouped or in case of observations, and also for grouped distribution. First, let me tell you how to compute median in case of observations. So here we consist of two cases, case 1, case 2. So whenever we are going to calculate median for observations, the first thing is we have to look at the number of observations. Number of observations. We have two cases. One is odd number case and the other case is even number. Number of observations may be odd, number of observations may be even. So when number of observations are odd number, then n plus 1 by 2 term will be the median of the data. If the number of observations is even, say for example number of observations is 6, then 6 by 2 and 6 by 2 plus 1th term, that is 3 plus 1 4th term, that is 3rd and 4th terms will be the median values. For example, number of observations is odd, then n plus 1 by 2, that is 7 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 8 by 2, that is equal to 4. 4th term, exactly we can, when the number of observations is odd, exactly we can find the middle term. But when the number of observations is even, there exist two median terms and we can identify those two median terms using these two formulas, n by 2th term and n by 2 plus 1th term. So let me tell you the computation part of median in case of observations. So this is the problem we have. First, so whenever we are computing median in case of observations, first what we have to do, we have to observe the number of observations. So how many observations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is odd. So or in case of odd numbers, n plus 1 by 2 term will be the median term. So after identifying the number of observations, all the observations are to be put in ascending order, that is less to big, small to big. We have to arrange all the data points in ascending order, and after ascending arranging the data points in ascending order, then obtain the which term will be the median term. That is, here since n is odd, we have to use this formula n plus 1 by 2. That is equal to, here we have observation 7, 7 plus 1 by 2, 8 by 2, that is equal to fourth term. So 1, 2, 3, this is the fourth term. Therefore, here the value of median is 20. Median is 20. So, this is how median divides the entire data into two equal parts. So, on the left side or on the top of the middle value or median value, we have all those values which are less than the median value. Here median is 20. So, on the left side or on the top of median, we have all those values which are less than 20. On the right side or the lower part of the median value, all the greater values which greater than the median value will lies on the right side or lower part of the median value. So, this is how median divides the whole data into two equal parts. And in case of when observations are even, so here the total number of observations is 6, which is even. So, in such a case, so when the total observations are even, we have to use the formula n by 2 and n by 2 plus 1. Since when the number of observations are even, there exists two median terms, two median values or median terms. So, since the value of n is 6, 6 by 2 is equal to 3. So, therefore, and 3 plus 1, 4. Therefore, third and fourth terms are the median terms. So, this is third value and this is the fourth value. These are the two median terms. So, the average of these two terms is going to give the value of median. So, and the value of median in this example is 240.5. So, this is how we can compute median in case of observations. So, when in terms of two cases, based upon the number of observations, odd and even, we have to use the respective formulae. So, in this lecture, we have understood how to calculate mean in case of group distribution and what is the exact meaning of median, and also when we use the measure median and applications of both mean and median, and how to compute median in case of raw observations. So, these are the things which we have discussed in the present lecture. Thank you.